चैंपियन कोर्स किन के लिए है? जो IIT JEE एडवांस का एग्जाम दे रहे हैं, मेंस का एग्जाम दे रहे हैं, उनके लिए है। ये कैसे ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं? आपको यूट्यूब चैनल पे जाना है, वहाँ पे ज्वाइन बटन है, मेंबरशिप लेना है यूट्यूब का। आप मेंबरशिप लोगे तो मैं इस कोर्स को ज्वाइन कर सकते हो। इसमें आपको पूरा कोर्स करवाया जाएगा, आपका लाइव डिस्कशन होगा, DP दी जाएगी, यानी पूरे ऑर्गेनिक केमिस्ट्री की कोर्स की गारंटी अच्छे से करवानी आपको सिखाने की मेरी होगी। तो आप ज्वाइन कर सकते हैं यूट्यूब के मेंबरशिप प्रोग्राम के थ्रू। ज्वाइन बटन पे क्लिक। Hi, hello to everyone. Now, after watching the theory lecture of the structural isomerism, today we will do practice. Mainly, we will focus on how to draw different type of structural isomerism. So, what you have to do? You have to watch. First of all, you have to write the question, try it your own, and then compare with my answer. Okay? Don't try to see answer first. First, you should try. Then we can discuss what is the exact answer. So, first of all, try these two questions. First question is, draw a structural isomer of C3H8O. You have to draw all structural isomers C3H8O. And the second question is, draw all structural isomer of C4H10O. Pause the video, try all the structures. First of all, find your answer, then check your answer with me. Now in first question, first of all, we have to find what is the degree of unsaturation of this C3H8O. Degree of unsaturation, or sometimes it is also known as double bond equivalent. It is number of carbon plus 1 minus hydrogen plus halogen minus nitrogen by 2. In this case, 3 carbon are there. This means it is 3 plus 1 minus 8 hydrogen by 2. Halogen is 0, nitrogen is 0. This means that in this case the degree of unsaturation is 0. 0 degree of unsaturation means there is absence of pi bond. This molecular formula does not consist of any pi bond, and there is also absence of ring. So whenever Db is 0, this means absence of ring, absence of pi bond, means the molecular formula consists of saturated compound. Now this molecular formula also consists of oxygen and saturated. It is absence of pi bond, absence of ring and oxygen. This means which functional group can consist of one oxygen and saturated? This means it can be alcohol as well as it can be ether. So whenever Db is 0 and saturated compound, whenever Db is 0 and presence of one oxygen, this means the functional groups present are alcohol and ether. So first of all, we will draw alcohol. What are the possible alcohol? How many carbons are there? Total 3 carbons are there. So first of all, we will draw 1 propanol. If we change position of OH from first to second carbon, this is our 2 propanol. What is the relation between these two? These two are positional isomer. Similarly, if I move OH from second to third, this means it is identical to the first isomer. Now, what is the other possibilities? I can move this carbon here. In this case, we will get ether. And what about if I move carbon from left hand side to right hand side? This form identical isomer. Same ether will be formed after replacement of this carbon by replacement to methyl. Got it? So in this case, total answer will be 3. Whenever you are drawing structural isomer, you should try maximum number of possible structures. Got it? Now what about second? All structural isomer of C4H10O. First of all, use this formula to find what is the Db. In this case, C plus 1. So Db means 5 minus 10 by 2, yani Db is 0. So again Db is 0, again is consist of oxygen. This means the functional groups present are alcohol and ether. So first of all, we will try alcohol. How many carbon are there? 4 carbon are there. So you should draw a straight line 4 carbon. If I place OH on first carbon, it is 1 butanol. Similarly, if I move OH from first to second, it is our 2 butanol. If I move OH from second to third, it forms identical molecule, identical structural isomer. Okay. This means in 4 carbon, we have 2 possibilities, 1 butanol and 2 butanol. Now, Second, we have to do branching of the alkene. In case of branching, the first carbon consists of OH and second carbon consists of OH. These two are different structural isomers. All these carbon are identical. If I move OH here, if I replace this H by OH, if I replace this H by OH, all give same structural isomers. How many alcohol are possible? 4 alcohol are possible. Now, after alcohol, next isomer we have to draw ether. Okay, total number of carbon are 4. This means this is our one ether. If I move carbon from left to right, this is second ether, and similarly this branched alkane can be converted into linear. This is our third ether. By using this formula, we can draw 3 ether and 4 alcohol. This means how many structural isomer? Answer will be 7. Got it? Now let's move ahead. Now in this case, you have to draw all the structural isomer of C4H8O. You have to draw all structural isomer of C4, cyclic ether of, all cyclic ether and structural isomer of C4H8O. And in fourth, all structural tautomeric enol. You have to draw tautomeric enol of molecular formula C4H8O. Now, first of all, what is the dB of this C4H8O? The dB or degree of unsaturation is 1. Carbon plus 1, 4 plus 1, 5 minus 8 by 2, 1. This means this consists of one pi bond or ring. And already it was written in question that is a cyclic ether. Means this dB is converted into cyclic form. Now, how many carbon are there? 4 carbon are there. This means we have to start from the biggest ring possible. So 4 carbon and 1 oxygen, the biggest ring possible is 5-member ether. So first of all, this is the biggest ring, then we will go for decreasing order. Reduce 1 carbon, and this means we have to convert this 5-member ether into 4-member ether. If there is a 4-member ether, how many carbon are left? 1 carbon is left. I can place this carbon here. I can move this carbon upper side. This means they are positional isomers. If I repeat this carbon here, this gives identical isomer. Now, next ring will be 3 carbon ring. If we are forming 3 carbon ring, this means how many carbons are left? We have 2 carbons are left. We have to place these 2 carbon. The first option is I can place these 2 carbon on same carbon. Means these 2 methyl on same carbon. 2 methyl on same carbon. And what is the second option? The second option is 2 methyl on adjacent carbon. And what is the other possibility? Whenever you have 2 carbon, this means we have 3 possibility. First of all, we can place both carbon on the same carbon just like a gem. We can place both carbon on different possible carbons, adjacent or 1, 3, 1, 4 like that. And one more important point is that we will convert these 2 carbon into ethyl group. This is the structural isomer generally missed by the students. And 2 carbon can also convert into ethyl. So how many cyclic structural isomer is possible? Answer is our 6. Got it? Now in second, you have to draw all structural tautomeric enol. What is the meaning of tautomeric enol? Tautomeric enol means the alkene and alcohol must be in conjugation. This is our tautomeric enol. And this is not tautomeric enol. Tautomeric enol means it can convert into tautomer. And for tautomeric enol, alkene and OH must be on same carbon. This cannot be converted into tautomer. This cannot be converted into ketone or aldehyde. This means we have to draw all these type of structural isomerism. Now, how many dB? What is the dB of this? dB is 1. Carbon plus 1 minus 8 by 2. dB is 1. Total how many carbon are there? 4 carbon are there. So first of all, this is tautomeric enol, and I can replace this, move this OH. Yani we can draw positional isomer. This is tautomeric enol. If I OH move on this carbon, this means it is not a tautomeric enol. And what about the other option? We can place pi bond between 2 and 3 atoms, and just like a 2-butene. This is also a tautomeric enol. Got it? The first, the second, then it is a third. If I place OH here, this means it gives identical isomer. What is the other possibility? I can convert this 4 carbon into branched carbon. Is this possible or not? It is not possible because carbon is pentavalent. So we cannot do branching of this alkane. So this is first isomer, this is second isomer, this is third isomer. This means total answer will be 3. The answer given is 3 plus 1, 4. How it is 4? Answer will be 3, correct? If you find any fourth isomer, comment on the, please write on the comment box so we can discuss. Right now, I am getting only 3 isomers. So they could be, answer could be 3. Okay? If you find fourth, just write on comment box. Now next. Draw all structural isomer of C8H10 having benzene ring. And draw all structural isomer of ketone. Pause the video, try to draw all the video, then check answer with me. Now first of all, we have to find what is the dB of C8H10. The dB is 9 minus 10 by 2, and dB is 4. Now we have benzene ring and we have left 2 carbon. These 2 carbon on 1,2 position, orthoxylene, metaxylene, paraxylene, ethyl benzene. Ortho, meta, paraxylene and ethyl benzene. This means, what is the answer? Answer is 4. And we cannot draw both methyl on same carbon because carbon become pentavalent. Answer will be 4. Okay. Now draw all structural isomer of ketone. It is already mentioned in the question. We have to draw structure along with ketone, and dB is 1. And how many carbon we have? We have 5 carbon. So first of all, we will draw a straight carbon chain, just like a normal pentane. And since we have to draw ketone, this means we will place ketone on C double bond on second carbon, 2 pentanone. And what is the other possible ketone? Similarly, we can draw 3 pentanone. And if I draw C double bond O on first carbon, then it is a aldehyde, it is not a ketone. Okay. Now then we will go for branched alkane. This is our branched alkane. If I place C double bond O, it is aldehyde. If I place C double bond on second carbon, it is ketone. And in third carbon, we cannot place C double bond O because carbon become pentavalent. Okay. So these 3 structures are possible. And since we have 5 carbon, we can form neopentane. And if neopentane, this H is replaced by C double bond O, then that is aldehyde, it is not a ketone. So how many ketones are possible for C5H10O? Answer is 3. Got it? Draw all structure isomer of C4H8O, only carbonyl compound. Now first of all, we should know what is the meaning of carbonyl compound. Carbonyl compound means C double bond O, means basically aldehyde and ketone. Carbonyl word is used for aldehyde and ketone. C4H8O, what is the dB of this? dB is 1. And we have to draw only carbonyl compound. So there is a 4 carbon chain. This is aldehyde. This is our ketone. And if I move this pi bond, this means we will get identical isomer. Then we will go for branching. In branching, we can place C double bond O in this first carbon. And if we replace this C double bond O to this carbon, the carbon becomes pentavalent. It means this structure is not possible. What is the correct answer? Answer will be 3. Question 7, answer 3. Okay, correct. Next, draw all structural isomer of C4H11N. So first of all, we have to find dB. So what is the dB? Number of carbon plus 1 minus number of hydrogen plus halogen minus nitrogen. Means nitrogen is 1. So dB is 0. So dB 0 means absence of pi bond and absence of ring. We already discussed that whenever dB is 0 means absence of pi bond and absence of ring. But it consists of nitrogen. So if whenever molecular formula consists of nitrogen and dB is 0, this means the possibility of primary, secondary and tertiary amine. Got it? So we have to consider all the amines. So first of all, we will draw a straight chain and I can place nitrogen on first carbon, butane 1 amine, second carbon, butane 2 amine. Then we will go for branching. This is also a 1 degree amine. Again there is a 1 degree amine. 4 possibilities of 1 degree amine. Now we have to draw 2 degree amine. Since we have 4 carbon, so we can place propyl and methyl. This is 2 degree amine. I can move this carbon on right hand side. This is also 2 degree amine. We can do branching of normal propyl to isopropyl. This is our 2 degree amine. Got it? Now we can also draw 3 degree amine. This means 3 degree amine. So what is the total answer? Answer will be 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The answer will be 8. Now one of my colleague, he is attending the class. He is basically watching the class. He told me that the answer of that tautomer is 5. And which isomer I was missing? I was missing the aldehyde. This means we have to draw this aldehyde. The tautomer of this aldehyde is this. Okay. What I am missing? I was placing OH on this carbon. There is a second option, we can place OH on this carbon. This is correct. This cannot extending the valency of carbon. In this case, the carbon valency is extending. If I place OH here, this OH is not possible, this is possible. So this means answer is not 3. Answer is 3 plus 1, 4. थैंक यू. हरिओम जी, हरिओम पारेता जी. ठीक है, तो क्रेडिट गोज टू हरिओम पारेता जी. ओके. Draw all structural isomer of C9H12 having phenol ring and di substituted. मतलब we have to draw phenol and di substituted. So what is the dB? First of all, dB is 9 plus 1, 10 minus 6, dB is 4. We have to draw phenol and di substituted. This means this is phenol. This means we cannot draw like this. This is not disubstituted. So we have phenol, along with phenol, how many carbons are there? 3 carbons are there, and disubstituted. It can be normal propyl, and similarly it can be isopropyl. 6 and 3, 9. What is the other option? Normal propyl, isopropyl, disubstituted ring only. So this is at ortho position. Similarly, we can draw for meta, we can draw for para. So if we repeat this structure, if we move this propyl to next carbon, so 3 possibilities are there, ortho, meta, para. Similarly, 3 possibilities are there, ortho, meta, para. The answer is 6, correct, answer 6. How many possible are there? 6. Because it was written disubstituted ring. In absence of disubstituted, the answer can be in very significant big number, because we have to take all the possibilities, different possibilities of propyl, different combination of ortho, meta, para. In that case, answer is definitely greater than 10. Okay, now that's all for today. Hopefully you have enjoyed the quiz. Whichever questions are going wrong, you have to try again. You have to basically draw all the possible structures. Never try to do any shortcut. Possible all the structures. And which question is wrong, you have to attempt again. And if the answer is 8, then you should ensure that 8 structure you should draw in your notebook. Thank you. We will meet again. Have a nice day.